going on, everyone? New intro for a great new show. We're not that new. We're actually over a year old. But some people have just found us, and if you're one of those new people, we are so glad you're here. We got a great show lined up for this last weekday show of the week because it's Friday. And we like to keep Fridays positive. You will see that the title is intriguing. The title is going to make us ask the question, could February start off pretty bullish and move us to the upside only to be a bull trap and then send prices back down to the downside? People have been asking in my comment sections, because I've been bullish on a couple projects here more recently. They're saying, but Tim, weren't you just a couple of weeks ago talking about lower prices? Did you guys know that when it comes to price charts, the price can go up for a series of time, and that doesn't make the bearish calls wrong? Those bearish calls could just come later. Now you do. Now you know that. That happens from time to time on the charts. And we're going to discuss what that would look like. And I'm not saying for sure it's going to happen. I'm just saying there are things happening in the news and on the charts that could be pointing towards a bull trap. And we're going to explore those. It's going to be a fun day today, though, because it's Friday and we do our community trade giveaway. Last week, we turned $10 into $24, and the winner was bedridden. Well, this week, we're going to do it once again here in just a couple of minutes after the intro. So stick around for that. Stick around for the news, and then we'll do some Q&A at the end of the show, do some TA of some coins, talk about some fundamentals of some coins that you guys want to hear more about. You have found the right channel. Shout out real quick to Silva Dalla. I have not seen the name Silva Dalla in a while, but he is an OG. I remember him from all the way back in the coffee and crypto days. Welcome to the channel, Silva Dalla. I don't know how long you've been here, but so glad to see your name in chat once again. I'm also glad to be joined by my very great and amazing co-host, the creator of that new cool intro, Mr. T. Shroom from down there in Gainesville, Florida. T. Shroom, how are you feeling today?
Well, I'm feeling better than I deserve. And we've got the quote of the day here from Warren's Buffett. Said, someone is sitting in the shade of a tree today because someone planted a tree a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. You know, and you have to stick tuned to the end of the show. I'm going to start doing some more like, hey, let's leave and think positively. Let's think about our lives and get better. It's funny that you chose that quote because my thought of the day that I'm going to have at the end of the show has a lot to do with that quote. But you have to wait till the end of the show if you want to hear that little tidbit. Look at Morel Crawford in chat here as well. Shout out to Morel. He is a good friend of mine. I see him daily because he works with me here in Georgia. So let's go ahead and jump on in here, T-Shirt. Anything we got to cover before we get into the community trade? We only have about 38 people in right now. We're going to get more people in. I think people are flooding in from other channels, other shows. You do get a nice, great lineup of crypto content throughout the day, but hopefully everyone's favorite hour is the 3 p.m. hour with the bros here.
Of course it is.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get in here. Chat, this is your chance to spam. Your chance to spam a coin and a leverage. We're going to keep it, if you guys, under 100%, and I'm not going to just pick the highest one. You can't just put like 99 on there, and I'm going to go with 99. Under 100% leverage, I will choose one of the spammed leverages and one of the coins. We will then take a look at the charts. We will make a trade. While I'm waiting for that spamming, earlier in our members-only trading, T-Shroom, I said that there was a short opportunity on Link, and my trading scenario played out, and I was too much of a chicken to enter. Let's go to the chart. I'm going to show you guys real quick. I was here on the 15-minute chart. I was talking about a scalp. We're not talking about long-term short on Link yet. I mean, there's probably a chance in the future we get one of those. But short-term scalp, first of all, we're in the reversal band here on LuxAlgo. Shout out to LuxAlgo. Great trading tool. I didn't use it to make this trade, and I should have. We were under a bearish divergence and a red reversal dot. We got a bearish dot, got a green dot, and then very quickly got a bearish dot again, and the money flow started negative. Where? Right here at the top. And we had just had so much bullish momentum, I was just too much of a chicken to enter the short because I was like, Link's on a spree today. It's just going nuts. But, just so you guys know, when I see these types of things, and we're in the take profit already, I would have entered a short and put a take profit somewhere between the middle and the bottom of this Neo Cloud. And you guys can see it would have played out perfectly. I probably would have traded it with 30%. I would have gotten almost literally right at the top of that mark. I would have taken profit. Oh, for a measly 100 and something %. But I didn't do it. That's the problem when you do TA and then you get too much chicken to do your trades. Mr. J thinks we should do ICP for 25x. Let's see if there's no other suggestions. Oh, Trent Fowler says Kaz. That's Caspa, 25. Chills on Demand says Chainlink for 100x. I'm
so
tempted
epic.
on that. I mean, I'm just looking at the Chainlink chart right now. Guys, what we have here is, again, we went past my take profit level already, as I just explained to you guys beautifully. We touched the stop loss level, and we've printed here simultaneously a green reversal dot. We have a green momentum dot. The money flow is technically still negative, so I wouldn't enter it on the 15-minute chart. But what I would do is take a look at the 5-minute chart and say, are we close? Ooh, well, the 5-minute chart, I don't like that. Money flow down, bearish momentum. So I don't feel super confident. Oh, even though we have the bottom signal, should I do Chainlink? Or is Chainlink too boring? Should we do something else? Martian. I don't know why that was. Wow.
Martian Yeti.
That was Martian. Yeah, I almost went Martian when it's very clearly Martian.
And that would have been
Myro
wrong.
for 23x. Don't go on Myro like that. Listen, they've had a rough last 24 hours. In fact, it's been more than 24 hours.
Too soon, Martian Yeti.
It's been rough. All right. Just because I like Chainlink, I'm not going to do it because I feel like that'd be too much of my own opinion. So good suggestion, though, Chills on Demand. Shout out to you. That would be a killer trade to play in. But I'm going to do Mr. J. I'm going to go with his suggestion of ICP. And I'm going to go with Pi's suggestion of leverage with a 69x. So let's go to ICP. ICP. US of D. Let's start off by kind of taking a look at what I want to see how the hourly chart, even though we're only doing this trade for an hour at the most, I just want to get a feeling for what the hourly chart looks like. Oh, we're longing. We're going to long here. I like this. Green dot, green momentum, money flow is slowly but surely keeling to the upside here. We're already in the take profits. So that's the only bad part about this whole thing. But I think we could potentially make a move back up here. Let's take a look at the 15-minute chart. Is saying 15-minute chart. Yep. Boys and girls, we are longing ICP. Let's go into our Blofin. Remember, to win this giveaway, you have to be signed up with a Blofin account registered under Investing Bros. So use our link down below. Tomorrow, we're announcing the winner who gets it for our Saturday special show. Comment down below after the video what your UID number is on Blofin so I can look you up. I will put names into a hat. We will select that hat live for the show tomorrow to enter. All right, we got to go 69x.
Last week, Bedridden won like $25 almost. So
does it not? It doesn't let you do random. All right, so we're gonna do 70. What the heck? Oh, ICP only lets me go up to 20.
Interesting.
Okay. Well, there's certain coins. You know what? We're gonna do it. Because I like this trade so much. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna go. We're gonna do $10. Okay.
That's weird.
We're just gonna do $17 because it won't let me do any less. Why the heck? 0.7. Nope. 0.7. Why the? Oh. No, it's just 7. All right. 14. 15. I typed that in wrong. Oh, 60. All right, we're going to do 16. 16. That's, $10. Here we go. All right, we're buying along here, guys. We're going to go and enter that long. Bada boom. Confirm. It's only a 20x because that's all it'll let me do for ICP. Most others, though, again, if I were to do Bitcoin, for example, I can go up here and go all the way up to 150x here. Guys, 270 different pairs and more are coming. For example, Jupiter, JUP, just launched the other day. It should be coming very, very soon to Blofin. So it's going to be one of the few places you actually can trade it. Blofin is a newer exchange, is not at risk. If you're wondering why you should be using Blofin to trade, not at risk is any regulational downfall anytime soon. You do not have to KYC. You do not have to use a VPN, even though we do recommend using VPNs for your security. So if you're looking for a good exchange to trade on, check out Blofin. Use our link down below. You also will enter to win our weekly giveaway to the trade. We're negative at the moment, guys. Down 0.2%. Down 21 cents, down 4%. But we'll see. It's gonna be a long hour. We'll check on that from time to time. T-Shroom.
Yo, we got somebody special in the chat. We got
who's
big
special?
Army Pipes. Army Piper in the chat saying, "Yo, what is up, bros?" And I believe Army Piper, the Piper Academy, just hit 1,000 subscribers.
He did. I think he's already at 1,100. So shout out to Piper.
So
Mellow Fellow says, hack it and do 69X, Tim. Don't wuss out. I am not a hacker.
He's not a hacker.
And this is not XRP. That is easy to hack. Too soon?
Way too soon.
Just kidding. Also, they weren't hacked. Again, I got to clarify that. They weren't hacked. It was just one of their executives' wallets.
Yeah, XRP wasn't hacked. It was just the guy who helped build it.
Again, I want to point out, and we're going to get into news here in a second, and we'll get into charts here a little bit later too. I want to point out, guys, go back to my screen here, T-Shroom. Yesterday, of course, I have started a war with the XRP army that I never meant to start. I still like XRP. I think there's confusion out there. Some people think I hate XRP and they love me for it. I don't hate XRP. Some people think I hate XRP and they hate me for it, and I don't hate XRP. But I will say, the point of my video yesterday, I took some of my XRP holdings and said I have too much XRP. I need to reallocate this into some better coins, in my opinion. What were those better coins? Number 1 was AVAX. Number 2 was Chainlink. Number 3 was Solana. XRP down 0.4% on the day. AVAX up almost 7%. Chainlink up almost 6%. Solana a measly 1.6%. So Solana's not working for me as well, although it's down a little bit more than some of the others over the last little bit. My point here, I think I made a good call. And no hate to XRP. You know, some people, when you go after them, there's a temptation. The XRP army, you guys are emphatic. But you do kind of, you got a little muchness to you. But you're not going to make me hate XRP just because you guys don't like what I say about it. I will not abandon the coin with a small bag yet, but it does not deserve to be a coin that you hold a hefty percentage of your crypto portfolio in. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. And you can feel differently about that, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
XRP is not where we want it to be for a couple of reasons. But we're going to get off of XRP. Mr. J says you declared war with them when you made that 55-cent prediction, and it came true. It's true. Yeah, there's something that when people don't like truth, it says something about them. Anyway, we're going to keep going on here, T-Shroom. We're going to get into some news here. We're going to talk, I'm sure the news will kind of factor into this, but we're going to talk about February. Again, starting off pretty bullish, but we got a long month ahead of us. Will it end as bullish as it starts? Let's talk about it. What's happening in the news, T-Shroom?
Well, honestly, Tim, there's really not a whole lot of news, and sometimes we say that, but today there's really not a lot. But we're going to get into it because there are a few headlines. The biggest one that I'd say is Donald Trump says he will fire Fed Chair Powell if elected in 2024. Interestingly, it was Trump who nominated Powell in 2017 to succeed Janet Yellen in the role. So, again, there's not a ton really to go on there because by the time Trump is actually in office, which would be, I believe they actually take office in the following year, so it'd probably be around this time next year that Trump would take office if elected. And by then, we would have gone through an entire year of 2024 of whether, where those cuts start. And surely the cuts would start in some point in 2024. And so, Trump saying this, in my opinion, doesn't really affect market conditions for this year. Mm-hmm. Might start to play a role in 2026 and, or 2025. And, now that I'm thinking about it, Tim, I was looking over here and this is just me processing it in real time. I was looking over here at the bond yields today, and you can see that 5-year is actually very, very elevated today.
Yeah.
And so is the Great British 10-year. So I'm not really sure exactly. It probably has something totally different to do with the bond market, but you can see a pretty big spike in that. So
now
I assume it's unrelated, but might be related. I'm not sure.
Something to think about, though. With this, with Trump saying he would get rid of Jerome Powell on day one, right? That's because Anyway. I've seen this discussion go back and forth. Some people think that Jerome Powell is not really associated with any political party. And that's technically true. He wasn't hired as a Democrat.
It's legally true.
He wasn't hired as a Republican. He's just supposed to be the head of the Fed. But with Trump making a statement and Trump being the
provocateur,
he's not officially the Republican nominee yet, is he? Nikki Haley is still trying.
Good question. I think
you have to fact check me on that, but he's going to win the Republican nominee. Yeah. And with Trump saying this, if Jerome, this will just say a lot about Jerome Powell's character, and I'm actually interested to see how this plays out. If Jerome Powell has high character and sticks with what he's saying he's going to do. Now, Bitcoin Ben the other day said he's a psyop. The whole thing's a psyop. They just lie to us to manipulate us all around. But let's live in la land for a second and pretend that Jerome Powell believes what he says when he says he does not want to lower rates. He doesn't want to risk the economy. Inflation is still high, blah, 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 blah. He knows that Trump, if he keeps interest rates high and the economy can't flourish, that doesn't bode well for Biden, and that probably will help to push Trump into the election, correct? Mm-hmm. If he's a man of his word, he's going to do it knowing that he's probably helping Trump get elected and he will lose his job day one. However, if he wants to keep his job, which a lot of political figures do, he will go back on his word. He will lower interest rates. He will cut them down and prop up the economy so that people that don't actually really know what's happening will think that Joe Biden's Bidenomics are working beautifully and potentially sway enough young voters to vote for Biden and keep Biden in power, and therefore Jerome Powell gets to keep his job. Something to keep an eye on. It will tell us a lot about who Jerome Powell is as a person. Not that we have high hopes, I don't think. I will say, let's take a look real quick. Let's see what CME is saying here. Go to my screen.
Let's do it.
Is this loading? There we go. All right. March, 79% predicting we're going to go ahead and stay paused. 525 to 550, that's where we currently are. 20% saying that we will go rate cuts.
Well, but the way hold on, Tim. Pause the show. We are getting an update here from Elo Brown saying 111 watching and only 35 likes. I don't think we can in good conscience continue the breakdown of the CME futures till we get those likes up. Come on, guys. Let's get those likes higher. Pump the likes.
Here's what I'll say about the likes, because I don't like when people give me too much pushiness on likes. If you're enjoying the show, you can smash likes. If you're not enjoying the show, I'm not really sure why you're still watching. I'm grateful you're watching, but I'm not sure why you're watching. You don't have to smash likes if you don't want to. I want you to know that. You have complete freedom to watch the entire show and not smash the likes. T-Shroom will cry. Yeah. I cannot promise you he will not cry at the end.
Yeah.
But you don't have to smash likes if you don't want to. Let's go back to CME and take a look here. You also don't have to hit subscribe, but you could if you wanted to hit subscribe button at this point.
Actually, you do have to hit subscribe. I heard that they're taking people's YouTube memberships away if you don't.
All right,
subscribe.
We're going to talk about crypto again here. Let's move forward into May. This morning, staying this way. May now, the first meeting in quarter two, it'll be May 1st. They are predicting with a 58% chance, but now you got to add in the 13% of 2 rate cuts. So in reality, what we're looking at here is over a 70% chance that we see a rate cut in May. Now, this could shift. It can change. Only 28.2% saying that we're going to stay paused. When you move to June, the second and the final quarter two, now you're starting to take a look at a 97% chance at this point that we will have 1 rate cut, or 54 for 2 of them. But, actually more than that. It'd be like 66 for 2 of them at least. Overwhelmingly, the CME futures are predicting that Jerome Powell is lying through his teeth and he is going to cut rates. We have to wait. It's not official, but it is something we definitely have to keep our eyes on. T-Shroom, we can go ahead and move on here. I think we've covered this as well as we should.
Yeah, just real quick, just to kind of round it out, the markets are absolutely exploding today on the indexes, the stock markets. Now, what I'll say, though, is a lot of it has to do with Facebook and Amazon. Facebook, I don't know if you've seen this chart yet today, Tim. Have you seen the Facebook chart?
The meta chart.
Look at this. Yeah. This is insane. When you put on the reversals on the daily, look at the reversals, how much it's exceeded.
It's overextended. It's going to pull back. There's a nice gap there. It's going to pull back. Do you remember when Jim Cramer was on NBC or CNBC or whatever, and he was crying because of how much Meta he was so certain Meta was going to do so well, and then Meta had a huge fall, and he's crying because he's like, I hate it was so funny. Mm-hmm. His reasoning was he hates misleading people.
Right. Oh man. And
I think it's up. I think I saw it's up 400% since that video went viral of Jim Cramer crying about misleading people about Meta and it crashing.
Yeah.
It's up 400%. So, I mean, we've recently seen it doesn't always work to trade inverse Jim Cramer, but sometimes it does. And in Meta's case, it was very much worth it. Should have bought all of the Meta stock.
No, less than $1 billion. Yeah, let me say this about this. I made a mistake here.
Hey,
I was wrong.
Shout out to him for owning it, though. You know,
management team that was so advised. Hubris here is extraordinary, and I apologize.
Okay.
Free cash flow last year.
Listen,
his co-respondent. Okay.
Yeah, he didn't know what to do. That's kind of awkward. But I will say, and I'm going to give credit where it's due. Jim Cramer felt bad on national television, and he owned it. And he got emotional. And by the way, guys, I see someone influencers crying. I'm not going to get into the details of why you're commenting that. I've cried live. It happened. Sometimes you get overwhelmed with emotions. Honestly, when I see a guy cry with overwhelming emotions, it does show a little bit of like, hey, man, there's a human here. Love, hate, or whatever you think about any person, we're all still humans, you know? And it doesn't always justify everything we ever do, but I'm not going to belittle someone because they cry. So, you know, again, if I did, I'd be a hypocrite because I've cried live. Didn't want to, didn't mean to. Overcome with emotions. It happens.
I don't know. I just feel...
You don't know? T-shirt never cries.
A TV show host like Jim Cramer cry like
he just felt bad, man.
I just don't think the reason it's like nobody died, right? It's just people lost money in Meta, which ultimately was going to come back.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not like the whole company went insolvent and got completely hacked or something like that. It's just a bad earnings report. Anyway, which by the way, that was in the past. Okay.
I will say, yeah, there are definitely some reasons out there that is funny when people cry about. But anyway, I'm never going to judge a person for crying. And again, you all see grown men. Mel Phelps says grown men crying always cringe. Not always. I don't know. There's some movies out there with some actors who cried that they get you. Makes you want to call your dad or your brother.
I think we're learning something about you, Tim, today.
In case you hadn't picked it up, I'm an emotional person.
You have a bit of a soft spot.
I'm not afraid of a good cry. Thank you, Gia S. And when Gia S says it's okay to cry, that officially means it's okay to cry. Okay,
that's right.
Do not question Gia S. She even has a broker. She's so good at investing. She has her own broker, and right. T-Shrim loves that, and we love Gia for sure. All right, we're off track. Let's get back. Sure. Let's get back to it.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of Meta, I don't know how we got on that topic. I guess. Yeah.
We were talking about Meta. We were talking about QQQ rising. Yeah. Okay, guys, this is Investing Bros. We chase rabbits from time to time.
We do,
and that's the fun part.
We do, but it isn't just Meta. It's also Amazon. That's also doing pretty well today. All right. Into the next story here. Bitcoin power law. Have you seen this, Tim? Have you heard of this? The power law predicts a $1 million Bitcoin price by 2033. Tim, here's how it works. We head over to the X account for Fred Krueger, who has been doing some interesting analysis here. What you'll notice is there's something different about this timeline down on the X-axis, which is essentially it's a logarithmic time, which I'm not going to claim to fully understand that. But then you have something you probably a little bit more commonly
it's like the charts, the log charts.
Is the logarithmic price. So it's a log. It's a win-win. And so this is predicting as time kind of speeds up almost is kind of what it seems like this chart's doing, is that Bitcoin is right on track.
In case anyone's confused on this, and Tisha, maybe if you're confused, think about it this way. Because it started in 2009, 1 year back in 2009, like when it was 1 year old, that was his entire existence. 1 year in 2011 would have been half of its existence. 1 year in 2012, a third of it. So the further we get out, the less significant amount of 1 year time is to the whole existence. So that's the idea of the fib that we're going with here. Is the more mature we are, the less significant a certain time frame becomes.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes a ton of sense, man. That is just absolutely insane. This chart really makes you think, what could happen in the distant future.
Where is 1 million on the? It said 1 million. Where is 1 million on this chart?
I think it would be 10 to the 5, right? 10 with 5 zeros.
I'm trying to follow it on this little thing. So there's a little black line here. Yeah. Okay. So it's not even saying it has to be at the top of the red. It's kind of implying even somewhere right here at the bottom of the pink is where price could be at 1 million during 20. Interesting.
Yep.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not the biggest fans of these types of charts. Everything matures and changes. I also haven't studied how this chart develops.
Oh.
Like, there's a lot of charts that try to program this stuff out like that. And I'm like, everything has, if you took economics in college or high school, there's always this curve to it. I think Bitcoin will stay pretty straight-ish, but I think there will be I think every single time the rallies going to get less and less. I don't think we can keep up the explosiveness that we've had in its first 15 years over a long period of time.
We got a surface lurker here. Sawtooth Hiker saying, lurking. Much love to you all. Love to see a good lurk. So guys, when somebody...
There's a skill to it.
Bros, when somebody says they're lurking, that means that they probably watch close to every day or, a lot. They watch frequently, but they almost never comment. We love the comments, though. We love the chats. Okay. Can't get enough of them. We got one more story here. This pretty much rounds out the stories. You can see it's a very dry day, right? Bitcoin ETF provider Valkyrie adds BitGo as a second custodian in risk migration move. This is, again, very dry. Not much to see here. There's basically a risk management, a mitigation of risk move going on here. Valkyrie said, leading the industry with the best approach to mitigating risk in ETF custody. So, man, if that doesn't get you on the edge of your seat, this headline right here, Bitcoin ETF provider, Valkyrie.
You weren't sharing your screen the whole time you were reading it. So there we go.
If there was ever a time to accidentally not share your screen, it would be on the driest headline of the year.
Yeah.
Bitcoin ETF provider Valkyrie adds BitGo as a second custodian in risk mitigation move. Dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
Cool.
Sorry. It's very...
Listen, I agree with Crypto Dave. Crypto Dave says 1 million Bitcoin and I will cry, boys. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Tishan, would you cry at $1 million?
$1 million Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. I think it's less about the dollar amount for me. It's more about, honestly, it's about like the radical transformation that the earth will have undergone, that the economy will have undergone.
Okay. T-Shroom, since you're such a strong man, what would it take for you to cry? Is 1 million Bitcoin the level, or is there anything less than 1 million Bitcoin that will make you cry?
Well, I don't know.
When was the last time you cried?
I was going to answer that question. So specifically, the last time I cried. Because that's what this episode has descended
This
to.
is the big stuff that we need to know.
It was actually Monday when I didn't cry, but I started to get emotional. Okay. And I did cry actually before the show, not profusely, but I did. I think I shed a tear. Because you're thinking about the Evergrande story, because with like the Evergrande Bank, I mean, it seems like it's in the distant past now, but on Monday that was the biggest story. Evergrande, getting told by the Hong Kong courts that they have to liquidate their assets. And I'm getting emotional. No, I mean, it's just that's gonna have real effects, right? It's basically like in 2008, people lost their jobs by the millions. Banks boarded up, businesses boarded up all across the country, and people did die. There was a number out there. I don't remember what. I think I don't want to say the number because it's probably wrong, but in those types of recessions, people suffer and they die, and suicide rates go up, and so it is sad to think about that for the Chinese economy. But you didn't tune in to hear about depressing Chinese stuff.
I did. I cry. I tuned in to hear how you cry.
Yeah,
that's good stuff. Well, any other stories we have, or is it time to transition back into some charts? Maybe the factoid of the day. Maybe some good Q&A. Maybe checking on our trade on ICP.
If you have been scrolling around the internet hoping for someone to do some TA for you, you have found your show, because we have basically the factoid of the day, and then we have pretty much just a free for all where we can just kind of do Q&A the rest of the day. Tim, the factoid of the day is brought to you by Blofin. Blofin, Tim, we've got an active trade. We can check in on the trade right after this factoid, which is brought to you by Blofin. If you're looking into leverage trading in a country where it is restricted, Blofin. KYC, no KYC in the United States. Let's get into it. The Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca takes place in what country, Tim? And everyone in the chat.
The Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca takes place in what country?
Is it A, Saudi Arabia, B, UAE, C, Lebanon, D, Egypt?
This is going to be a very ignorant answer because I have no idea. But I'm going to assume not the UAE because even though every single one of these countries is, I think the predominant religion is Islam in each of these countries. The UAE, I think, is a little more of a mixed pot. Same with Egypt. I want to say Lebanon, but it could be Saudi Arabia, but I'm going to go with B. And, as soon as I say it, Gia S says A, but now I feel like I have to stick with my original gut and not cheat, even though now I have a really good feeling that it's A because Gia says so. I'm saying C. I'm being a man of my word because that was my answer.
Okay. You're saying C?
Even though I know it's A now.
All right. Saudi Arabia. So it's actually pretty cool. And I saw a video about this. The Hajj is not until like late summer. So this is not a timely factoid of the day. But me and the elf were watching a video about the Hajj, which is kind of interesting. And it takes place sometimes the spelling, and it's an annual Islamic pilgrimage to Mecca, Saudi Arabia, the holiest city for Muslims. So it's pretty cool. There's a lot to learn there to expand your knowledge of Islam if you're interested in doing that. If not, I can understand why. That's okay.
You want to talk about something that makes me cry when I lose to this freaking elf for 2 days in a row? Makes me emotional. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you for Gia. I think GS has a pretty stinking high track record at this point with these things. She might be the greatest trivia person in our history. By the way, T-Shroom, she also wanted you to know her broker is doing fantastic.
That's great.
I know you've made fun of brokers in the past, but it sounds like it's been a win.
Well, when Bitcoin gets to $1 million and GS is balling out, I don't know if that broker is going to still be employed.
With how many factoids Gia knows, we don't question decisions Gia makes. Maybe, Tisha, maybe we need to get a broker. That's all I'm saying.
Let's check it on our trade. Quick to the draw. You're right. She almost always gets the answer, and she gets it right, too.
She's good, dude. She's freaking good. All right. We're checking our trade here. Go and share my screen. Now, this is where it gets fun. We are in the positive. We're up 16.6%, which is the equivalent of $1.63 profit. What's sad is we had to enter a 20x because that's the highest it lets you do on AICP. We want to do a 69x, which of course is more than triple. So we really right now should be at a profit closer to like almost 50%. And then of course the profit of that dollars would be closer to, of course, like $5. It's going to be hard to beat last week. We were 114% in profit when we took profit. It's going to be very hard to beat that with a 20x, but we'll see. We're leaving this sucker open, and we're going to keep moving on here. Now, let's talk about why the title is what the title is. I have been bullish on Avalanche, but I do want you guys to be prepared for this. Just because I've seen the charts be bullish, and I've talked about it, and it's had a good run here. It's had a great day today. The title, could February potentially be a bull trap? It was not clickbait. And anyone come in here saying, is it clickbait to try to fearmonger? It's not. It is something I want you to be aware of as an investor who thinks about what you put your money into. Avalanche leads the $900 million token unlock spree this February. It's going to also be joined by Aptos, Sandbox, Optimism, and Sui. Now, that's a big one because Optimism and Arbitrum are very, very good coins. I definitely recommend these being in your portfolio. Layer 2s. That helps scale on Ethereum. Optimism has an unlock this month, and I believe Arbitrum has one later on in March. Fact check me on it, but I'm pretty sure it's in March. But Avalanche is definitely one to keep an eye on, and where's the number? Right here, $320 million will be worth of tokens for AVAX. Will be unlocked this month. Now, does that mean the price of AVAX will plummet? No, that's not what I'm saying. But this will be, it's just a catalyst that makes it go down. When you add a massive amount of supply, just remember your economics, ladies and gentlemen. Supply go up unless demand matches it. It's going to go down. Even if demand matches it, just stays even. Now, they're saying that these will be used for airdrops, strategic partnerships, team members, yada, yada, yada. But here's the thing, guys. I mean, it's just, because this news is coming, people are going to sell and take profit because they're ready for it. So that's it's going to go down just because of herd-like mentality. But also, yeah, there's going to be an onflow of 320 million new dollars put in the space. Now let's take a look at AVAX's market cap. It's not like this is going to like destroy the price. This is why I'm saying like I'm not predicting we're just get destroyed. It's at 13 billion right now, right? So we're talking about a fraction of it. But again, when you add in the bearish pressure, it's been rallying. Let's come over to the charts here. Check in on AVAX. AVAX has been rallying here. We are up. We've gone up high. We're going to have a bearish narrative along with bearish fundamentals happen. Not going to be surprised to see us drop. But let's see. Did this have a date on it? February 22nd. We had a lot of time between now and February 22nd. And I do believe the price will start to bake this in. I don't think we're going to wait till February 22nd for the price to drop. I think we're going to see it happen between now and then. We'll see it pull back. I still, though, am looking at this $40 region for AVAX and thinking that this is something to keep your eye on. Again, our take profit here on the daily chart, a nice order block sitting right there between $40 and $42. Our oscillators here on the daily chart definitely showing us we have room to the upside. The MACD is just climbing. RSI crossing above 50. You love to see it. And even though we have a bearish momentum dot on the daily at the moment, you'll see the oscillator is reversing. Not going to be surprised in the next couple of days if we see a green dot pop up here on Lux Algo. And the money flow is flowing to the upside. The only thing that would keep, like, I would be stupid bullish if we had just had like a bullish reversal dot, like a green reversal dot, because again, I love that strategy for trading. And it has not failed me to this day. Again, I'll make a video on this soon. But shout out to Lux Algo, guys. Again, they're sponsoring the channel. But I'm telling you right now, if you want to be a trader and you want to make good trades, guys, you go get Lux Algo. Go get it down below. 30 days, no matter what you bought, whether it's 1 month or a whole year or 10 years, if in 30 days you don't like it and you're not making money on your trades, get your money back. But go sign up with that link down below. If you want to trade and change your life, you got to have Lux Algo. It's number one paid indicator on TradingView. They're killing it. Even some of their free indicators are killing it. That's this RSI metric down here. You're not sharing my screen anymore, but I love using this for confluence with my paid indicators as well. So many reasons to be bullish here. But let's talk about what the bull trap could be. Because again, that's a nice level. The $40 level. This is where people came at me because I made a video here a couple weeks ago talking about a potential pullback here. Let's turn off some of the noise just so we can see the charts more clearly. I made a video talking about lower prices. For example, our golden pocket coming in down here towards $23. Then probably the most significant one of them all, and there's lots of reasons for this. From a fixed range volume profile standpoint, if I get the tool to work for me here, when you take a look down here, boom, we've got a nice shelf. I don't think we're going all the way down to the point of control and all this stuff. In fact, let's just move this over to the last breakout spot just so we can see this. Where's this point of control move to? Boom. That point of control moves where? Right to my level here at about $20. There's a shelf right here in volume. Even though, well, it's the point of control for this whole rally. It doesn't make point of control when you include all the bottom action price. But I think that level makes a lot of sense. Golden Pocket makes a lot of sense, still at $24, down towards 23. People ask, though, Tim, you were just bearish on AVAX. What are you talking about? A pump? Why are you talking about us doing such good things? Well, guys, I was bearish. And then since I've been bearish, we hit my first bouncing point, my first support line. And right now, we're up 35% from that first support level. If we hit my $40, that would be a 50% rally on AVAX. I feel like we should be bullish about 50% rally. Shouldn't we, T-Shroom? That's a bullish thing. That's pretty nice. So. That's a good chunk of change. It doesn't set a new high for us, though. It doesn't change the fact that historically altcoins have decent-sized pullbacks. Usually got the wrong tool. Usually somewhere in the area of 60, even sometimes down to 70%. Now, if we were to only hit the golden pocket here, that's going to be about 53. So that's a nice heavy fallback. But one more reason for that $20 range. Oh, look at that, 58. That's almost my 60% area. That historically happens with altcoins. So just because you see a nice 50% rally in the middle of the fall doesn't change that more intermediate period of bearishness. And again, with bearish sentiment, we do have an upgrade coming. We talked about this morning in the video. That's going to be bullish for AVAX. But with an unlock happening, with the fact that we're overextended, with the fact that long-term whales know that historically we have these drops, so they're going to be in the mood to take some profit and buy some lower levels. I'm going to continue to hold on to my lower price predictions for AVAX, and I cannot wait to buy some of those levels. Now, am I selling my long-term bag to create liquidity to come down here? No, that's not what I'm talking about doing. I'm talking about I have some dry powder that I have not invested in crypto. I'm going to continue to make some paychecks from the work I'm doing, and I'm going to create more dry powder that I am not deploying heavily. I have a DCA strategy where I deploy a light amount in at the price levels right now, but I'm going to save a nice little purse for lower levels, and I'm still seeing that play out. And again, when you see the bearish narrative like the unlocks, and you see the charts, and what the charts are kind of showing us, they showed us the potential for a rally here. Let's turn on these signals again with ALGO. They showed us that we hit a nice top. We can rally up once again in kind of a dead cat bounce distributing faction, and then we can pull back down to lower levels, down into support zones. I'm going to continue to hold on to that. Now, let's go ahead, T-Stream. Let's check in on our trade real quick, and let's open up for some Q&A, whether we want to talk about some TA, fundamentals. We are up $2.30 in our trade. I'm telling you guys, that you want to know how we made this trade? We used ALGO. Go check out ALGO. Killing it in the scalping game. Could have been, oh man, this could be great. Right now, we could be up closer to, what is that going to put us? Yeah, 70% right now if we had freaking got that 69X. It's sad. Sad day. That's the one thing. I love Blofin. This exchange is great. I wish they had more leverage for ICP.
The good thing is you probably, a good idea. You're basically entering a casino if you're doing much more than 20x, guys. So the good news is that although Blofin does restrict leverage for some coins, it's probably not out of any fault of its own. It's probably just limited liquidity on the markets in general for these certain coins that have restrictions. But leverage trading more than 10x on a regular basis is a recipe for disaster unless honestly, you are a pro trader. Like
the only times, especially if you're newer to trading, that you should be doing 20x, even that, is with small amounts. Like I'm doing this with $10, not a huge risk. I'd be comfortable doing a 20x, probably upward than maybe a couple $100 at this point in my portfolio. Everyone's portfolio is different. Do not trade with a large portion of your portfolio with heavy leverage. If I'm going to trade thousands of dollars at a time, I'm probably sticking somewhere between 2 to 5x at the most. Be responsible with your leverage trading. I absolutely recommend people paper trade, maybe do some spot trading for a while so they get used to using technical analysis. They get used to learning how to read news stories. But then once you have a roll of success, now leverage makes it so you can turn a little bit of money into a lot of money. And it's a skill set. There's a lot of people that we know and love dearly who have been able to quit their jobs and they full-time trade, go on vacation whenever they want. They take care of their wife, their children, their husbands, whatever. They take care of everyone in their life and they get to day trade using leverage. It's a great tool to make some money, but I do want you to be responsible when you do it. And one of those ways to be responsible is to use good tools like ALGO. So go ahead, check it out again. Money back for the first 30 days if you don't like it. Let's see. Let's get into some Q&A here. T of Shroom.
Yeah, we had one question that we can knock off real quick. Said,
okay.
Seymour McCammon said, "What did TA Tim mean? He cry when he loses a elf. What is a elf? Well, the elf.
I cry when I lose to the elf. When I lose to the elf, we have a factoid elf here. Go ahead.
The elf is this guy down here. If you see my cursor, this is the factoid elf. He's the one that comes up with the factoids of the day. So it probably was not at all what you were thinking there, Seymour, but that's what Tim was referring to.
When he beats me too much, and I don't mean physically because he's a digital elf. He can't beat me. But he beats me with his questions, and it makes me sad. Let's see here. Crypto Dave, I've learned that my failure rate and anxiety go up drastically over 7x. Okay, so Crypto Dave has realized at this point in his investing journey, 7x is his limit. I love it. Again, I'm telling you guys, when I do these heavy leverage trades like 20x, 30x, again, the only reason I was doing this, I'd never do a 69x. I really never go above 30%, 30x, because I don't want to lose that much money.
Bedridden said he turned $17 into $216 only with leverage. You can do it, LOL. Yeah. So,
and Bedridden's been killing it. Bedridden is one of our members in our trading group. Again, if you want to join our membership and get into our trading group, great conversations happening over there. Bedridden, I've just watched. I remember when Bedridden first started with us, and he'd be the first to tell you. Like he's like, I'll get on a winning streak and then I'll lose it all. And Bedrin has been killing it here recently. He has some of the best trades in that group. It's not just me and T Shroom you get to hear from and learn from in our members Discord. Even you guys, as you get better and you learn and you grow, just having each other around to help give suggestions and help see things you don't see, it's always a nice thing. And so, yeah, our membership is there, $5, and you can join our membership today. Join that trading group. It's great and it's a blast. Let's see what else we have for questions. Again, we can do TA. We can talk fundamentals of coins. We'll probably not talk about XRP too much because I feel like we have killed.
Here's a quick cue from Blackie Chan 577 coming in hot. Do you think we'll be seeing Bitcoin at 35K in the next few weeks? Ooh, what do you think, Tim? I'm gonna define that as 3 weeks from now. So it'd be right in the smack dab middle of February.
Well, 3 weeks from now would be not the smack dab middle. That'd be pushing close to the end now.
You know how stakes are red in the middle? That's the smack dab middle, and that would be the 3rd week of February. Do you think Bitcoin has a chance to get back?
I don't even know what we're arguing at this point. You're arguing that the middle of the stake is 3 weeks into a month. That's not even a thing. This conversation got away from us. Do I think that 30? Okay, so the question. Oh, shout out to JT. Just became a bro.
Let's go.
Love to see it. No, it's yellow, so that means he's been a bro before, so he's coming back. Love to see it.
Sweet.
Let's see here. Will Bitcoin be at 35K in a few weeks? And we're going to call it 3 weeks. We're going to call it the middle of a stake, which makes no sense. Will is the wrong question, probably. Let's go to the charts. I know T-Shroom, you're on yours. Will is probably the wrong question. The right question is, can it? And that's yes. The answer is yes. But to put a time level on that, because I think some people are going to be tempted to be like, oh, if we don't see 35K before the end of February, then we're not going to see it. And that's just not true. I'll tell you firsthand, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do a little story time with Tim. It's always fun. T-Shroom, do you remember back in about February of 2023 when I talked about the golden pocket up at 48 to 50K and the matching of March, right? By the way, guys, if you think I'm trying to like brag and say I called this, no, I'm not saying it. I'm saying that I got this wrong, and I'm explaining to you the sadness of me getting this wrong. So this right here, I said when we were back here in price action, I said look for a pull all the way to 49, 48, 50K, and then we pull back. We'll match what we did back in the history. I predicted it. People thought I was crazy. They said I was wrong, yada, yada, yada. Well, here's what happened, guys. And I'm still learning. Even though I've been trading now for a couple of years, there's still always things I get to learn, and I love learning. We slowed down here in April, and I said, that's fine. It's just a pause. And then we came up here in July, and I thought we were going to push through, and we didn't. We rejected, and we had a 20% pullback. And I said, all right, I got it wrong. Guys. We're not hitting 50K. My technical analysis was wrong. And I gave up on my call because I said, back here, I was like, watch in the next couple of months. We're going to hit 50K. We're going to follow this 4-year cycle just like back in 2019. We're going to hit the 50K and we're going to fall back down. Because the timeline didn't happen in my timeline, I gave up on my prediction. So my lesson here is I was right. I should have kept to my guns to know, guys, historically, we go to the golden pocket. I should have stuck to my guns despite the fact that we had a 20%, 2 different 20% pullbacks. And I shouldn't have locked myself into a timetable of saying I have to be in this timetable for it to happen. Coming back to your question, will we see 35K by the end of February into March? And some people are going to be forced to say, yeah, if it's going to happen, it has to happen before March because we have the halving coming up in April. I believe at this point, the date people are circulating is April 22nd. Put it on your calendar, the Bitcoin halving. We should rally up into that.
April 22nd. Does April 12th?
I think so. Pretty sure it's 22nd, but I could be wrong. Fact check me.
Alpha. Yeah. Yeah.
My point here is if we don't do it before March, doesn't mean you should give up on it yet. I would say if we get to the halving or days from the halving and we have not dropped yet, now I'll start to maybe say, all right, this is potentially the right time to say it's not going to happen.
So
Bedridden says, Tim, but we did hit 49K. Yeah, but I gave him my prediction. That's why I'm saying I got it wrong because I gave up. Even though I originally said it, I gave it up. Same thing here. I'm going to stick to my guns and say I believe that I think 31.9 is going to happen, guys. This former untapped resistance level, and we've talked about this so much on this show, we just historically do not leave this untapped. So I'm going to continue to hold to my TA, even if at times the markets and the news and the charts look like it's going to do something different. I'm going to continue to say I think that a blower price is coming, and I think that could happen within the next 3 weeks. But I'm not going to give up on it if it doesn't. I'm not going to give up on it until we don't see that. If we don't see that drop until March, just not going to. Go ahead, T-shirt.
Something French toast. I made French toaster giggle. I don't know what it was. Just to fact check you here, neither of us were right. It looks like the prediction roadway. It's like kind of shrunk. So remember, guys, this isn't a time bound line in the sand here. It's not a time bound threshold. This is all algorithmically calculated by the Bitcoin protocol, and the difficulty for the miners and the hash rate. It's there's a lot of different highly technical variables that go into this, and ultimately it's kind of the block time, right? That's different from the sun and the earth time. So
it's all different, man. Go to my screen here real quick.
Oh, you got a different one? You seen a different one?
6 hours ago. It's a window from April 8th to April 22nd. That must be what I'm quoting, and I must have seen it 22nd. It still isn't decided yet. I guess is the best way to put it. It's still not decided exactly. This one saying April 19th. What's the date? Swan Bitcoin wrote this. They wrote this. Are you going to give us a date? Doesn't look like they're going to give us a date of when this article is written. Well,
this one says 72. The one from CoinMarketCap says 72.
It's all over the place. At the end of the day, it's going to happen in April. It's going to happen in April.
Yeah.
I would probably put it somewhere mid-April based off of what we're seeing here.
It's definitely going to happen in April or another month.
Crypto Zero says, don't we always pull back after the halving? Well, usually we trade sideways. Let's go ahead and take a look here at halving events. So, we're on the topic. Good question. Real quick, actually, let's check on our trade. Always want to check that. Oh, we got a little bit of pullback. Lost some money here, but it's all right.
Usually after the halving, there's not much of a pullback until the top. Not the top, but
check this out, guys. May 11th, 2020. May 11th was right. Yeah. All right. We pulled back the day before, and then, we never – okay, historically, May 11th, we have – since the day we had the halving in 2020, never seen the price come back down to the level it was. It rallied, had a decent pullback right here back in September. But no, after the halving, it's nothing but up since the 2020 halving. Over here, July 19th, this one I think there was a correction. Well, they're definitely corrected coming into it. So that's why it's not a perfect science. We corrected. In fact, if we go from right there, Bitcoin after the halving in 2019, well, not 2019. Sorry, guys, 2016, July 19 of 2016. Got my tool here. We fell, I'm just going to do a rough area, 30% after the halving before rallying. Now, the price was way down below 1,000. I would not use this to say, could we have a 30? I do not think we're going to have a 30% dip in price afterwards. The market's more mature. But could we have a 10% dip after the halving before the bull market takes off? Absolutely, we could. Probably, more than likely, this is hard to predict, but I would not be surprised, guys, if the halving is somewhere right here. Let's mark our day. Let's do April 16th, 15th. Let's do April 15th. More than likely, price action would look something like this. Maybe go a little bit higher, maybe to our 45. Then we start to fall a little bit more. We come in here, squiggle, squiggle, squiggle. We hit our low level. We start to rally. We get sideways into we'll come back in this area, probably in the low 40s. We get into halving, maybe a small pullback, but then we start the real bull market. The price, it's not going to be identical to this, but price is going to look like this, in my opinion. If we don't get the fallback, then my guess would be if we get a rally here, even if we go up to 50, let's go 51, 53, don't be surprised to see us pull back in this level and then kind of trade level. I would imagine coming into and directly after the halving, would not be surprised to see price. Oh, got the wrong. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be surprised to see price in this level right here. Somewhere between 40K, 38K, and 45K. Now, whether do we go to the upside first and then trade down here, or do we go to the downside first and then bounce back up? Would not be surprised to see our levels be here in the $40,000 range when we get to the halving. And then I do think it's up, but a 10% pullback, not a big deal. St. Clair says 32K could be the bottom of the next bear market after this bull cycle. It's happened before. Second phase of the bull was never touched until bear. Interesting, St. Clair. And I'm not going to say that there's no validity to that point, but I will offer one counter argument from a fundamental standpoint. If we're going to see a significant drop in the price of Bitcoin, it's going to be sooner rather than later. I do not believe that the BlackRocks, the Fidelities, the JP Morgans, the massive institutions who are convincing their wealthy clients to get into Bitcoin, I don't see us dropping in the future more than a 50%. Like realistically, I still have my target for Bitcoin top of this cycle to be somewhere in the 50K range, 200K range. Yeah, so somewhere right in here. Let's grab this tool. Boom. Let's just go somewhere right here, 200. That's my zone of saying I think that we could get that range. I would be surprised if we drop back below 100. I think the time to hit 32K, this red line, is now or never. If we get past this halving and we get into the election season and other stuff happen, I don't see a high possibility. This green line, maybe not. Let's talk maybe later. I don't see if we get to December and we still have not touched this red line, I'm probably going to abandon it. I could see a little drop during the summer if something crazy happens, war, disease. I don't know. It's not likely. I mean, that is war not the most likely of things that could happen this year of disaster scenarios?
Yeah.
And then it's like pull out a map and then just blindly stick a dot. I mean, where in the planet is there not a risk of war currently? Djibouti.
Alaska. I mean,
that's right next to Russia.
Antarctica. I meant to say Antarctica.
Yeah, okay. And Antarctica and Djibouti, the only two places in the world that are safe right now from war.
Nice.
Don't do that, T-shirt. That could have gotten dangerous. So I like the thought. I just don't see a scenario after 2024. If we have not touched 32,000, I think we're not going to. I think that's it for 32K. What else we got here? Do you think Chainlink will have a pullback to $14 or $15? I don't think. Oh yeah, okay. I couldn't remember the price because I go through all these altcoins and I see all this stuff. Yeah, Chainlink rallying right now. Let's talk about Chainlink for a second. I want you guys to see how bullish Chainlink could be. I'm not predicting this is gonna happen, but I put this target up earlier, $21. Why is that area so significant? Well, first of all, there's a lot of Fibonacci reasons and then fixed range volume profile reasons. But maybe the biggest one is just this simplicity of the zone we just traded in for a couple of months. That's going to actually put us a little higher up towards $23. You could get really bullish with it. You're silly with it, as the cool kids would say. And you could say this whole thing has just been one big bull flag and that we could see Chainlink get up over the golden pocket and get all the way closer to $40. You could say that too, but I don't think so. I still see, again, historically, just like Bitcoin, untapped resistance at $9.60, give or take. I think there's a decent chance we pull back. I think the safer bet would be somewhere closer to $10, $11. But I still think there's an outside chance of $9.60. Untapped resistance. And again, that's not a popular opinion. The people are going to try to use news and stories and fundamentals and relationships and blah, 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 blah to say that can't happen. I'm just looking at the charts and the history. And I'm, again, even the Chainlink chart. Zone of resistance, zone of support. We break above. We actually rally above this line 253%. But then we came back down and we touched it. So people do not like being told their favorite coin could have red days. And I'm just not here to make you happy. I want you to be happy. But I'm going to tell you what you need to hear more so than what you want to hear. And what you need to hear is that untapped resistance levels rarely do not get revisited and turned into support. XRP holders learned that the hard way back in August, September. I think a lot of other people are going to learn it here in the next month or two. MLFL does not play with Djibouti. Good to know. The spellings of Djibouti are very nice. And I was talking about the country. What are you guys thinking of? Oh, your head's in the gutter.
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. Well, guys, it is 4 o'clock. It's time to check out our trade and go ahead and close it. It's not as high as it could have been, but let's close it. 21% gain, a $2. So somebody is going to be entered to win $12. Now, we did find out the giving away process. I can't just send it to your Blofin account, but we'll get your information, whether we need to send it to your Coinbase or whether we need to Venmo you or anything else. We will choose a winner tomorrow for our Blofin live trade giveaway. 2 profitable trades in a row. We will select. I wish I'd waited just a little more. We were freaking rallying here. All right. Well, it is what it is. It is what it is. If you guys want to trade these levels, again, check out ALGO on TradingView. Killer trades. You will make your money back within the first couple of trades. Also, use Blofin to enter for this giveaway. Sign up with our Blofin link today. Comment your UID down below, your user identification number. I will put the names in a hat. We will select a winner tomorrow at our Saturday special edition show. That's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will select the winner right there at the very beginning, so you'll know. And then we'll have a great show lined up for you guys. So, guys, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you for smashing that like button if you enjoyed the video. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button. Did you guys know that we're literally about 130 subscribers away from 8,000 subscribers, and there will be 2 $100 giveaways when that happens to some of our subscribers? If you want to win free money, hit that subscribe button. Really super simple. And then keep watching the shows. We will tell you which video you need to comment on so that you can get entered to win one of those $100 giveaways. We love each and every single last one of you. I told you guys I was having a thought of the day, T-Shroom. And you remember your quote. Can you pull up your quote again? We're going to wrap it up here. Quote of the day. Great quote of the day. If you missed it, we're going to bring it back up for you.
Am I? I don't know.
It was Warren Buffett. And it was Warren. Okay, I'll summarize. This probably isn't word for word perfect, but it's Warren Buffett saying, today there's someone sitting in the shade of a tree that was planted by somebody else a long time ago. All right. I wasn't too far off, right?
Someone is sitting in the shade of a tree today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. That'll preach, Tim.
That'll preach.
Preach. We need to get an organ. We need to get an organ sound effect here.
Here's what I want to say to you guys. Listen, we are so excited about this bull market with crypto. We're going to make a lot of money. T-Shroom's going to make a lot of money. I'm going to make a lot of money. You guys are going to make a lot of money if you stay in it and you continue to grind. But I want to encourage all of you to continue to strive to be better people outside of your finances as well. And something I want to kind of urge you guys to think about is every single one of you has some blessing in your life. Did God give it to you? Did your parents give it to you? Did you work really hard to develop those skills? I don't know what it is. Maybe some of you are extremely strong. Maybe some of you are already extremely financially well off. Maybe some of you are extremely intelligent with crazy high IQs. Whatever blessing you have in your life, use that to help somebody else. If you are crazy intelligent with a crazy high IQ, do not use your high IQ to belittle those who have low numbers. If you are physically strong and you can do a lot physically, do not use your physical strength to hurt those who are weaker than you. If you are financially wealthy and blessed beyond your means, do not use your wealth to belittle or to hurt or to take power away from those who do not have any. Whatever blessing you have in your life was given to you and provided to you because of somebody else who wanted to help you in some way or another. And if we want to see the world be a better place, we need to be the same type of people who plant trees today so that other people down the road can sit in the shade. We love you guys. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow. Adios.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shroom's news, got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.